speech, and then there's hate speech.
Pam Bondi said it in an interview with podcaster Katie Miller.
You can't have that hate speech in the world in which we live.
But her remarks have led to a strong backlash from fellow conservatives, some of whom quoted Charlie Kirk, who posted last year that in America all speech is protected by the First Amendment. Bondi now says her department will prosecute those who make violent threats. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Yeah, political violence is on the rise in the United States. A Wisconsin group hopes to change that.
One of the top goals for the Wisconsin Alliance for Civic Trust is to encourage peaceful engagement. WISAC coordinator Paul Van Auken says young adults play an important role.
We really feel like we need to start with younger people who are often much more open to having dialogues across differences.
That's why WISAC is creating a 15-member cross-partisan task force of emerging leaders, young adults all under the age of 25, who can condemn violence and promote collaboration to resolve differences.
We start by trying to build community to build trust, bringing people together to have fruitful conversations.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
A federal judge dismisses terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione in the case over the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
The judge dropped 2 state terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione, including one that accused him of first-degree murder. He says the evidence behind the charges was legally insufficient, but Mangione is still charged with second-degree murder in the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Prosecutors say the terrorism charges were warranted and have called the act of frightening, targeted murder. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
And a Wisconsin lawmaker wants voters to have a say in certain new taxes. State Senator Rob Hutton is co-sponsoring a bill to require a public referendum for any new wheel tax in the county or municipality level. He tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News where he thinks funds should come from to maintain the roads.
I would argue that is part of the budget discussion that we should be having every 2 years here in the state for where our priorities are placed, not just in certain areas of the state specific to, in this case, roads, but across the board in terms of other major initiatives.
The bill would also require retroactive voter approval for wheel taxes already in place. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is currently off about 200 points at 45,689. NASDAQ down about 25 at 22,324. And the S&P 500 is down about 15 at 6,600. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Times, 10:03.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Unfortunately, it's not too early to start thinking about those upcoming heating bills. At Hometown's huge New Berlin showroom, you can compare energy-efficient windows from Anderson, Pella, Marvin, and more. Like me, you'll get a dedicated project consultant to guide you to the products that best fit your home, style, and budget, along with employee carpenters who respect your home. Do what I did. Contact Hometown Windows and Doors today. Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. 414-329-1200 or online at hometownwindows.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. Professional athletes trust Neurospine Center of Wisconsin, including baseball, where surgeon Dr. Brandon Rebels helped get Milwaukee's MVP back on the field for a stellar season. We can help you too, with the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes. You can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
John Mercure here for Serta Pro Painters. They painted the outside of our house. It was fantastic. I've got a big deck. They really had to navigate on 2 levels. The guys took their time. They paid attention to detail. They did it right around the deck. My whole house looks fantastic. Trim and siding. It's great. It's Serta Pro Painters. Schedule fills up fast, so now's the time to plan your project. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Serta with a C for your home or business. Each Serta Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. They are the best. They're Serta Pro Painters.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Brewers back in action today at American Family Field. They begin a 3-game series against the Angels. Milwaukee with a 5-game lead in the NL Central over the Cubs and a magic number of 8 to lock up the Central Division. Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. And the Packers head to Cleveland this Sunday, first road contest of the season for Green Bay, taking on the 0-2 Browns. Packers are an 8.5-point favorite for that game. Taking a look at your roads, a WTMJ Time Saver traffic update. A number of disabled vehicles off to the side of the road, 4145 southbound, about a mile or so beyond the ramp from Holy Hill Road. That right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Little further south, about a half mile beyond the ramp from County Line Road. The right shoulder also blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Crash on the exit to Burleigh Street, 4145 southbound. That's out of the way of traffic. It is off to the ramp side. It might complicate your ability to get off that ramp. Just exercise caution. About a 6-minute delay from Good Hope down to the Zoo interchange due to construction. Beautiful day today, sunny and warm, high of 83 degrees, slightly cooler near the lake, clear tonight at a low of 56. Put it on repeat for Wednesday, sunny and warm, a high of 83. Thursday, mostly sunny, warm, a high of 83. Right now it's 75 in Union Grove, 73 in Elm Grove, 66 in Cedar Grove, 72 at the Avenue. I'm Greg Matzik, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 10:07.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Oh, for the first time in a week.
Yeah.
That actually is right, because you've been gone on vacation.
But I've been listening to you.
Oh, you have been listening? You've been...
I missed you.
I missed you, too.
You get used to being able to have a place to talk about the things.
Well, you're going to get a chance to do it without me for a couple of weeks almost. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I have to start filling up who I'm going to bring in. Just do 2 hours on myself every day.
Are you ready for that?
No.
Is the world ready?
I don't think anyone wants that. Interviews and conversations I find much more interesting than just monologuing.
Yeah, I like both, as you know. As I said before.
And you're good at both.
Yeah, I appreciate that. As I said before we went on there, I like listening to myself sometimes. You don't do this, but I do this.
You re-listen to everything.
Every show, because I can listen to it really quickly now. All the tools are there. And just to see like how I approach something or what I could have done better, angles, all that stuff.
I should do it because of that, for the purposes of learning and improving. I just... I want to be on to the next thing.
Yeah, you got way too much stuff going on. So I spent a lot of time on yesterday's show on the social media part of all the things that are happening in this country now. And
wait, what happened? Joking. That's a joke. That is a joke.
Yeah, I mean, it's an insane time in our country's history. And you and I talked a lot before the show. I'm not in a really good place on where we're at. I think it's dangerous. Obviously, political violence. You or someone else asked me yesterday whether it's increasing or we just talk about it or see it more. I don't have evidence of this, but I think just for the rapidity of these stories, for the magnitude, the impact of the stories, and the impact on our culture, I think there's more of it. Whether that's the numbers or not, to me, that's not really the...
To you, it's anecdotal as far as your feelings as someone who has lived approaching 7 decades.
Yeah.
Which is not... nothing, right? As far as your what it feels like and what you've lived through, and feeling like it's worse. And I think there's the feeling of it, and then there's the data behind it. And I haven't looked closely enough at the data, because I also was like, how do you differentiate political violence from other violence in data? I don't know. Someone's subjective criteria.
Even the CEO killing case of United Health, that used to be a terrorism charge. The judge said, no, it's not terrorism. So, I mean, it evolves. And, for all the friends who say this is the law, this is what you have to wait, none of that is clear anymore, because we have judges doing their own thing. We have courts doing their own thing. And we have interpretations, which is still a part of what judges and justices do, sort of rewriting the Constitution in rather interesting ways. And many of those will be coming in front of the highest court in the months ahead. But I spent some time yesterday on social media and phones. And we're going to do both of those this hour, hopefully. Because I think they're important. I understand that there's generational differences on these questions. You grew up in that sort of the era of social media. I didn't grow up
in that. Not quite, though, because I
was
in college when Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't get a Facebook until 2005 or 2006. I got an Instagram 2012.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was already in my 20s. And so
you didn't grow up with it.
I did not grow up with it in high school. No. Right. So I am on that elder millennials side that was lucky enough to still remember landlines. And I did have AOL, AIM, and remember that?
There you go.
The instant messenger.
Yeah.
Did you have AIM?
Yeah, I told you yesterday. I don't like. Didn't I tell you yesterday? I don't like the text. The texting was. It's still.
That was on your computer. That was was typing on your computer.
Yeah, there's certain ways you could do it. Yeah.
I was ex-Swish girl because I played basketball.
Well, that's clever. But I wanted to talk about in the next few minutes the sort of the social media questions, because we've talked. TikTok was banned until it wasn't, and now it's going to be saved sold by.
Well, we don't know yet. We don't know who the buyer is, but apparently it could be Larry Ellison and Oracle.
Yes, and he certainly got the money.
Did he pass Elon recently?
He did for like 1 day or 1 week.
Okay.
Yeah. And then now Elon just got handed a extremely bountiful CEO schedule of payments and bonuses.
So now he's back. He's back on top.
Apparently, Musk will be the world's first trillionaire. How dangerous do you think that is? Just off the top of your head. Anyway, so I want to look at this from an educated perspective. I don't want to just blow up social media because I don't like it, and I'm not a fan of social media right now for a lot of different reasons, including what happened last week with the assassination of Charlie Kirk and other people. Australia, as a country, is saying we're not going to let young people, and they've defined it as 16 is like the cutoff, have access to some of these platforms. Although, unless I'm wrong, and maybe you looked, since I mentioned this to you, Twitter's not on that list.
Well, it's a weird list. So it is Meta.
Yeah.
So it's Facebook and Instagram, but not WhatsApp, because that's a messaging app.
Right.
YouTube wasn't included, and now it is. But then there's also gaming, which is, I know, where a lot of kids spend time, which is like, Roblox and Fortnite. And I don't know those games to know, like, well, is there an argument for why those should be on there too? But it is, I don't know all of the lists. I would imagine TikTok's on there and Snapchat is on there.
Well, they should be, in my opinion.
And so, but Discord is not, which is the chat service that we know Tyler Robinson allegedly, confessed.
Right.
So it's kind of a mixed bag as far as how they're defining what platforms are going to be banned for people who are under 16. Now, this was something that passed in Parliament in November of 2024, and they gave it a year. So December 10th of this year is when this goes into place. And basically, the enforcement is going to fall. This is, I think, one of the first times the enforcement is falling on the platforms rather than the individual users. So instead of, self-identifying that I'm 16, which we all know kids can get around, companies now are going to be expected to more than just rely on them saying how old they are. So it's supposed to be, because if you think, and what their argument is, which we all know, is that these social media companies have so much data on us that they know.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Know.
Like, they know who's underage. Like, the way that the ads can be targeted so specifically. And so the expectation is, if you do not deactivate people who you have the information that are under 16, you'll be fined $50 million.
Yeah. Which sounds like a lot of money, but not for, $1 trillion companies.
Well, and that becomes the question, right? So, like, what do the platforms do in response? Do they stop? Is it worth trying to regulate this, or do they stop providing access for the entire continent, right? Or is, like, the amount of money to pay the fine versus the amount of money that they're going to lose because of ads and ad revenue and everything that they get from teenage users, and also the cost of actually doing the regulation and having to implement this. So I have read less on how the platforms themselves are reacting to this news. And, there's a lot of arguments about, like, government overreach, but at least they did something.
Yeah. And that's the only thing that I would say makes sense. They're doing something. You and I talked before the show. I'm in this mindset now. I'm just sick of elected officials, leaders, organizations, governmental organizations, just doing nothing, just arguing endlessly, but not doing anything about any of these problems.
Well, it's like, I feel like the amount. My husband asked me this over the weekend. He's like, "What has AOC actually done?" I have a point here. He's like, "What has AOC actually done since being in office, besides have a big following and a lot of name recognition?" And so we looked it up, and, like, she has co-authored or authored, I think, over 150 pieces of legislation, only 13 of which have become law.
Yeah,
or even like got out of committee, right? And so it's like to a lot of times I think there is legislation. There's lawmakers who are trying to work on stuff. It just doesn't go anywhere because of the bureaucracy of introducing a bill and getting out of committee and public hearings. And this is both on the state level and the federal level, or even at the city level, of the layers and of actually getting anything done.
Yeah, and it's probably a common problem for a lot of lawmakers, right? They sign on to things that never have any chance of getting passed, depending on who's in charge, one side or the other. So I guess my question, as we sort of move through this, and you popped it into the outline, to me, I'm going to change it a little bit. Does social media actually bring value to your life? I guess I don't know that it does.
That's what I'm struggling with
I don't know
right
that
now.
it does.
Like it. For me, it absolutely has. I wouldn't have this job if it weren't for social media. I probably wouldn't have my job at Journal Sentinel. The opportunities I've had from getting to interview Adam Kinzinger earlier this year, by being on social media and putting myself out there, I have gotten a lot of career opportunities. And so for me, I am really struggling because I see the value, like the personal value there. I also see the hit to my personal mental health, and also the feeling of like, am I just adding to the noise? And trying to understand, how do you actually be on any of these platforms and not be part of the problem, but also not just do kind of like fluffy BS that doesn't acknowledge the state of the world? So I am struggling with that as far as like, what is the value of posting there? What is the value of consuming there? And I have not come to an answer yet.
Yeah, it's sort of the difference between being someone that's informative versus disruptive, agitating an audience to get clicks. I mean, there's a lot to that to unpack about how we do things. I'll give you my thoughts on it. I also want to roll in something about phones, because I don't think they're that smart to begin with. We'll do that after the break. Point taken, Kristin's back, of course, on this Tuesday here on 620 WTMJ.
All types of injury lawyers advertise. Cartoon lawyers, bobblehead lawyers, and folks chasing ambulances with text messages. Our clients don't want or need such lawyers. Our clients know, like, and trust that Pasternak and Zergabel will help in their time of need. I'm Frank Pasternak of Pasternak and Zergabel. Jeff Zergabel and I are excellent personal injury lawyers in our community. If you need help after an injury, go to Pasternak and Zergabel at injurywisconsin.com. That's injurywisconsin.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You've heard about Tri-County Contracting and their worry-free roof tune-up. You've heard about their instant roof quote. But don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also handles windows. Our project at my home moving right along right now, and the process has been so easy and thorough. It's nice when you can trust the team you're working with and know that they are looking out for you. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and also windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeanssitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Imagine that unbelievable new deck in your backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck builder. Building new decks and replacing old ones, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax in your own backyard. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
The brilliant Barbra Streisand, who I'm a huge fan of. And
have you ever seen her in concert?
No, I haven't. But she's still alive. But she doesn't perform much anymore, if at all. The reason we're playing it, and you'll hear some of the songs today, is Robert Redford passed away, like one of the greatest American actors of all time. I mean, the list is Lionel, Vincent, Eric were talking about it. Just the talents. I mean, I think Vince or Eric said he's like the Brad Pitt of a previous generation, right? That's kind of right.
Brad Pitt or George Clooney?
Yeah.
Because I feel like he also did a lot of directing and producing. Not that
created the idea of a film festival, Sundance Film Festival.
And so I think he was he had his hands in a lot of different aspects of the entertainment industry, which I think George, whether you like him or his politics or not, but I think George Clooney is similar to that.
Yeah, and
I don't know if Brad Pitt does Brad Pitt direct anything?
I don't know. That's
right?
a good question.
I don't know.
Great actor. But if you want to see the brilliance of Robert Redford, this actually ties into some of the things we talk about. All the President's Men. Absolutely brilliant. Dustin Hoffman, awesome. I don't know if they both won Academy Awards, but I know they were nominated. It's an absolutely brilliant film, capturing a slice of American history in the actions of Richard Nixon and everything that happened after Watergate. So check that out. But we'll play some of that music throughout the show because I was a big fan. Another one, if you're a nature guy, Jeremiah Johnson.
I've never seen that. Actually, I was looking at the list of all of his movies, and my hit rate was not great. I was like, there's a lot of Robert Redford movies I have to go back and watch.
So many. This is not a generational attack, but so many people of your age have not seen some of the greatest films of all time. Like, why is that? I don't get it.
Because I think, in the Blockbuster, you go to the new releases, right? It's, again, elder millennial, and you go to, like, what's new and out. And now that the streaming services are up, like, what's new is popped up immediately when you sign into them versus I have a list in my phone of, like, the top whatever movies.
Yeah.
And I'm so bad at actually checking it when Mike and I sit down to see, what should we watch tonight?
Go back.
I know.
Instead of staying current. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff that's done now. I'm not saying that, but clearly his name was at the top of the list when you talk about American actors. So check that out, honoring Robert Redford in our own little way. So yesterday, I sort of got off all the social media controversy, and we're going to get to some of that in the latter part of this hour. When just you say something, you're fired. That's it's the ultimate example of just expressing an opinion. And then the next day you don't have a job anymore. So we'll get to that.
And there's a story of someone who his wife said something.
Yeah.
And then he got fired.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, and I'm sorry. And just to kind of put a ribbon on the social media part before I get to the smartphone part, which again aren't smart. I'm not a fan of social media. I'm on it because of what I do. Promoting the show, promoting my podcast, promoting appearances on occasion. You have to play in that world, the digital world. We're told that digital is our future, right? Every day at work, in some form or fashion, digital is the way to go. So I play in that world. But I do eagerly anticipate a time where I don't have to go check something or go put posts. I am so looking forward to that. Maybe it's not permanent, and maybe in some weird way that social media platforms and companies will redeem themselves. I don't think so, but because I think once the ship has sailed, it's gone. But anyway, so I was doing some research on the use of phones, and it was prompted by a story I saw on CBS Sunday morning about New York banned cell phones for their schools. Affected 1 million students. And I thought, I'm going to read all these stories about people being, ticked off about it. Sounds like they're not. Wow, isn't that an amazing sort of development?
I saw this. There's a stat of different high schools in New York, and the increase, this is crazy, the massive increase in the number of books that have been checked out of the school library already this year compared to last year because of the phone ban.
Yeah.
And the fact that now kids at lunch are talking to each other instead of scrolling on their phone. And I think in the CBS article you sent me, it was the same thing as far as kids playing board games at lunch.
Not some online game, board games. I guess I have to say a collective duh. Did you not think this was going to happen when people put that down and start talking to each other again? They're going to engage in having conversations. We so love technology, and I do love the things that technology can do for us in a lot of different ways. I'm not saying I'm not anti-technology. I think AI has great promise for a lot of things, especially research for science. Absolutely.
But there's also a lot of
bad stuff.
A lot of bad stuff that could come with AI, but
so
mixed bag.
There's some great reporting in Wisconsin. I pulled up a story. It's a little older now. Let me just find the date here. Journal Sentinel covered this issue. I think it goes back to May 19 of this year. Alex Groth is the author. Asking, what's our cell phone policy in the state? And roughly 20%, with some nuance to that, have complete bans.
20% of school districts in Wisconsin.
All school districts, yeah. 90% of all school districts, large and small, have some form of controls or limitations or restrictions. I was actually surprised by that. I didn't think it'd be anywhere close to those numbers. I thought it'd be maybe 5% of a ban and maybe 40% have limitations. But no, I think, and I was talking to you in the break, that there's actually legislation. We're trying to find the authors in the state legislature, or at least there was, moving this forward to support a ban on phones.
Well, and here's a question for you, small government conservative. Because at this point, you're seeing that how many school boards have taken it upon themselves to actually have some kind of regulation on this.
Right.
Do you feel like having it as a state ban is taking away local control?
No.
Okay.
I think that's where it has to happen. Do we have another break to take here? I think we do. Let's take a quick break. We'll wrap it to the bottom when we get to local news and ABC. Kristin, Steve, point taken. 620 WTMJ.
Hey, is this heaven? No. It's Milwaukee.
And a liner into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Around third is Durbin. Here comes the throw home. Durbin slides in there safely. The Brewers walk it off in 10.
It's the Brewers and Angels in Milwaukee. Our radio network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Oh, what a ball game here in Milwaukee.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristin Brey for Mission 94 Firearms Education Center in Kenosha. Yes, you heard that right. I have never been a gun person, but we have guns in our homes, so I finally took it upon myself to learn how to safely load and shoot. So I went to Mission 94 with an open mind and ended up having a blast. Mission 94 is a welcoming environment for everyone at any experience level, including me. I love how they prioritize education and training. The staff made me feel comfortable in their state-of-the-art facility. It's a fantastic atmosphere. So go check it out yourself. Just Google Mission 94.
Why settle for just a job when you can have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee new car dealer members have service technicians, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam member new car dealer.
For current great-paying job opportunities, visit adam.com/jobs. That's ADAMM.com/jobs.
It's a good idea to have a plumber in your contact list, and best probably to have it before an emergency. Vince Vitrano here. I've got your plumber. It's Horner Plumbing. For starters, this company is the trusted name in residential, commercial, and new construction for more than 50 years in southeast Wisconsin. My wife and I have them in our home working on a small project. Well, it's small for them, but any project is a big deal when it's in your house. You want it done right at a fair price. That's why we chose Horner Plumbing. Upfront pricing, so no surprises. Clear, honest estimates from professional plumbers who stand by their work. What do you need done? Water heater repair or install, drain cleaning, garbage disposals, bathroom and kitchen renovations. And how about saving some money? Tell them Vinny sent you and that you want $50 off that first service. Call Horner Plumbing for a free quote anytime in an emergency or for residential, commercial, or new construction projects of any size. Serving southeast Wisconsin since 1969. The pros I trust. HornerPlumbing.com.
It's Gina Della. You've heard me define what makes Pella Windows and Doors different. Let me introduce you to the woman behind the billboards, commercials, and share my extraordinary journey of resilience, reinvention, and shattering glass ceilings every Saturday morning at 6:30 on 620 WTMJ and anywhere you stream podcasts for What's the Difference with Gina Della to discuss business coaching across all industries, featuring successful executives, entrepreneurs, and mentors along the way. This is a story you won't want to miss.
Talking about smartphones and social media this half hour. We're going to keep the conversation going because we're running out of time this half hour. Interesting text from
317, which I think is not a Wisconsin area code, but that doesn't matter. Our kids go to school in Waukesha, and they implemented a policy this year where the kids are supposed to put their cell phones in a pouch on the wall when they enter the classroom. The kids are just getting around it by putting old phones in the pouch and keeping their active cell phones with them during class. It's insane and so infuriating. I wish there was a complete ban.
That's why there has to be a ban. And the way that New York schools, they actually have a pouch. The parents have to pay for, I think, $30. It gets put in at the beginning.
Of the day.
At the
it's
end.
Not even in the classroom. It's like at the beginning of the day when you walk into the building.
And they get it back at the end.
Yeah.
So that's one way to look at it. So we're going to stay on this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Lots of text on this as well. Social media, smarts, or phones, I should say. We have local news with Greg Matzik coming up here in a bit. And then before we get to that, of course, the latest now from ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A judge in New York has dismissed terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione in New York's case over the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The judge keeping the state's second-degree murder charges in place. ABC News legal analyst Brian Buckmeyer.
This is absolutely premeditated from the eyes of the judge in terms of this ruling. Second-degree murder is when you have a premeditated murder of an individual. He's facing up to life in prison, 15 years to life, in fact. But in terms of his intent was to kill the CEO of United Healthcare, at least based on the grand jury results and the findings of the court. It was not to influence or coerce the civilian population for some sort of policy change. That's what the judge is making a distinction here.
Man accused of killing Charlie Kirk will appear before a judge in Utah today. It'll be Tyler Robinson's first court hearing since Kirk's murder last week. He was in dozens of movies and was an Oscar-winning director. Robert Redford has died. Jane Fonda saying he meant a lot to her and was beautiful in every way. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 10:31, 72 degrees on our way up to 83 inland. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, I'm Greg Matzik. A former school safety aide at Milwaukee Public Schools faces sexual misconduct charges. 31-year-old Samara Miller is accused of sending inappropriate texts to a student at Bradley Tech High School. In a criminal complaint, she admitted to sending those texts between November of 2024 and January of 2025. Miller is due back in court October 3rd. A man facing attempted homicide charges has died in the Sheboygan County Jail. 65-year-old Paul Lee was found unresponsive in the shower. Lee allegedly shot a 2-year-old child and attempted to shoot a relative at a Wisconsin home health care on September 5th. He had planned to kill the adult victim and then himself. Sheboygan County District Attorney confirmed Monday morning that his case has been dropped. Fond du Lac County Sheriff's Office is investigating his death. And Governor Tony Evers signs an executive order to protect access to COVID-19 vaccines for Wisconsin residents. The governor's order directs state agencies to ensure vaccine access and clarify confusion from federal changes. In recent weeks, updated COVID-19 vaccines were made available at pharmacies across the Badger State. New restrictions imposed by federal officials may make it more difficult for some people to get those new shots. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management and Market Update. Lots of red here this morning, with the Dow off about 185 points at 45,701. NASDAQ down 20 at 22,332. And the S&P 500 down about 10 points at 6604. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com. Take a look at your roads. The WTMJ Time Saver traffic update. Still a couple of disabled vehicles off to the side of the road. Not impeding traffic, however. 4145 southbound, about a mile and a half beyond the ramp at Holy Hill Road. You have a disabled off to the side of the road. A little further south, about a half mile beyond the ramp from County Line Road. A disabled off to the side of the road. Another one off to the road. It's on the exit ramp to Burleigh, 4145 southbound. Your delays, Good Hope to the Zoo, about 4 minutes as you're working your way through the construction. But overall traffic volume is pretty light here this morning. Sunny and warm today, 83 the high inland, 78 near the lake. Mostly clear tonight, a low of 56. Wednesday and Thursday look very much the same. Mostly sunny and warm, a high of 80 degrees closer to Lake Michigan, 83 degrees further inland. Right now it's 73 in Johnson Creek, 72 in Juneau, 75 in Janesville, and 72 at the Avenue. I'm Greg Matzik, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 1034.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time Accunet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick Accunet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Back to school means back to savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. Right now, get $3,000 off your roofing, your siding, your windows, or your bath project during the fall savings event. Don't wait. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com to claim your $3,000 savings and book your free estimate. Exterior Pros and Baths, Wisconsin's trusted home improvement experts. Trust the pros.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Steve and Kristin. Kristin's back after some time off. Lots of texts talking about social media and smartphones. And I had an idea to break. I just threw it out there. The president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, is fond of executive orders. What if he, with the stroke of his pen, the flash of his signature, said, you know what? I'm banning phone use in schools across America right now. 68%, I looked it up, Pew, 68% of U.S. adults support a ban on cell phones in schools.
I just don't know how you enforce that.
That's always the question on anything. How do you enforce anything?
No, I know, but are you going to make it against the law for students to have phones in schools? So then are you arresting students?
You're not going to arrest students. That's too extreme.
So are you then fining schools when they have like violations of too many kids having that? Like what?
Probably. Or
aren't they trying to get rid of the Department of Education anyways? Like how are they going to have the oversight?
Well, you would once it's an executive order, you hand it to the states, and states, their Department of Public Instruction has to deal with it, right? So that's a great question. What do they do? So you punish schools. You can withhold funding if they're not following the rules. The rule says no smartphones in schools. If you have smartphones in schools, less funding for you. How quickly do you think they'll respond to that? I would say probably instantaneously. Is that tough love? Probably. But you know what? I bet you it works because they love money in the school districts. Trust me. I know a lot of people that work in school districts, board members, they want the money.
But do you think it's the schools and every teacher I know hates cell phones.
Mm-hmm. They don't have the power.
They're playing whack-a-mole in class of constantly having to stop their lecture or their lesson to, tell a kid to get off their phone. Is they pick their battles. So isn't that on the school district to say these are the rules now? Yes. And so I feel like schools have already been trying to ban these when they can of the rules in the classroom or whatever.
Some schools, again, anecdotal.
Right? Don't you think most teachers have had a no cell phone rule
universal,
in their class?
I've had this subject on previous shows, and there's some teachers that think they should be able to use them as tools. So, I mean, especially with the arrival of AI and ability to research something quickly, even as a math tool.
Don't they all have Chromebooks now or something?
A lot of them do, not all. Some school districts have jumped in on that bandwagon. But I think the answer is states, Department of Public Instruction, school districts, administration staff. It can't be a teacher decision. That's the last thing. Teachers already have enough to do.
All right, take it a step further. What if you're not allowed to have, this is so silly because it's never going to happen. What if you're not allowed to have a smartphone before you're 16? So if you as a parent give your kid a phone, it has to be a flip phone.
I wouldn't support that ban because I don't think
so you're fine with kids having smartphones, just not in school.
At 16, yes.
No, I'm saying if they're younger than 16, they can't have a smartphone at all.
No, I'm not saying that. No,
I know that was my idea. Now, that's my.
But why did you pick 16? Because kids drive. I think is that why, or
I don't know. That's.
I
think that number was in my head just because that's where Australia put the cutoff for their social media ban.
Yeah, but they didn't ban phone use.
They did not ban phone use.
So I think that's an extreme
no, it's not
position.
phone use. It's smartphone use.
Right.
So if you go back to like a Razor, if you remember those bad boys,
right?
The T9 texting. If you go back to something like that, so you can still call, you can still text, but you're not on apps.
Yeah, I'm not in favor of banning.
You're not a fan of that. You'd rather have it be a federal ban in schools.
Yes.
Why?
Because I think that's the only way it's going to work. Because everyone does everything differently now, and we're not getting to, again, remember what I said at the beginning, we're not solving any of these problems. I think this would be a clear way for the government to lead, to provide direction. And why do I say that? Because roughly 68% of Americans support it. So it's beyond political, right? Because that's a 50-50 deal.
I wouldn't even say that's probably partisan lines. I don't think this is a partisan line issue.
It's not.
I would say the only people who are concerned with having their kids have phones at schools is because they want to be able to get a hold of their kids if there's a shooting at the school.
Yeah, which is a sad
It's a sad
testimony.
reality,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, and trust me, I feel you on that one. And that's why I think away from school, kids out of practice, yeah, okay, then you can quickly do that. Schools should be able to handle emergencies. Now, we have cases where they don't, like Uvalde, which they failed miserably. So, I mean, even that's in question. The short-term impact of gun violence is that security's ramped up, but it doesn't last forever, and it's not always implemented properly, and that's the failure of adults to do what they're supposed to be doing. On this issue, though, there has to be some measure that's put in place that starts to change the equation. I think Australia is doing that. They're trying to do something.
They're trying to.
New York is doing that, and they answer that question. We're going to put it in a pouch. You're going to pay for it, and we're going to give it back to them at the end of the day.
Well, individual states are trying to, too. I mean,
Absolutely.
this is the thing with Governor Cox in Utah. That's one of the states where they've tried to pass a similar ban to Australia for young people and their access to social media, and social media companies are suing the state.
Yeah. There's going to be so much, that's the other thing, so much new ideas on this issue, and then so much trials and lawsuits about whatever they do. That's the world we live in now. But you have to fight through that stuff. And at some point, doing something on this issue. I'm just so fed up with the, freedom, so whatever. Everybody's loved their freedoms. They don't want any rights and responsibilities associated with them. And it's sort of gotten into this mess, in my opinion. We all love to do whatever we want. Oh, my God, why would you restrict what I can do? Because we're having major problems in this country with young people, their lives being messed up, young people being bullied or worse because of social media. And that's not anecdotal, that's research. And violence now creating havoc on a social media platform driven by some of that stuff. What did Spencer Cox say? He blames all of the violence on social media. That's a leader of a state. Pretty well-respected guy.
I know he's a Republican, but
common sense.
Isn't he not moderate? But doesn't he kind of run on a fair amount of bipartisan?
Yeah.
Didn't they have a whole NICE campaign? Like the two guys who ran for governor, didn't they have like a really clean campaign? They got along and they were shaking hands. And...
My word is a reasonable Republican.
Yeah.
People hate when I say that, but that's exactly what I think. From the 414, Texas put in law kids can have phones at school, but turned off during school, turn on when leaving. I think they have to put in certain area in classroom, but they could access them if there was a school shooting. Again, they did something, right? That makes sense to me. You gotta figure this out. Someone on the other side, 920, Steve goes federal authoritarian over cell phones. The fascism is right below the surface of every conservative. You just gotta scratch it. Yeah, I can tell you right now, 920. I'm not identified as a conservative in any public square or arena right now. So you may think that.
Does that bother you?
Doesn't bother me at all.
Right.
That brand has been ruined for me for probably forever. I still call myself a Republican because I'm a small government guy, and I still believe in that and balanced budgets, which is something that, people always freak out when I say it. The last person that did that as president was Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, of all people. We've had how many Republican presidents since then? A bunch.
Well, what? When that happened, remind me, because I was a kid.
Economy was booming.
Who had control of the Congress?
I don't know off the top of my head. I have no idea. Probably Democrats.
Because when did Newt Gingrich, was that during the midterms of his first term?
Could have been.
All right. That's history to go back and see what the government was, what the branches of government were when that happened.
I'm getting the mean stare from our producer because we're yakking too much. Quick break here on Point Taken on 620 WTMJ.
We see you out there making the most of every moment, one big, bright idea at a time. At Blaine's, we're glad to be part of it by offering best-in-class products and solutions at unbeatable farm and fleet prices. Right now, during our 70th anniversary sale, 50-pound bags of Diamond Crystal Softener Salt Crystals, $6.49. Rewards members save an extra $1. And 50-foot Yellow Jacket extension cords, half price, $24.99. Rewards members save an extra $5. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Hey, it's Scaffidi from WTMJ. For Advent, I had snoring issues. I told you about them, tossing and turning, restless nights of sleep. My nose wasn't working properly. I went to Advent, 30-minute visit. They put me at ease after a really simple sleep study at home, and I emphasize the word simple for a reason. It's easy to do. They determined the root cause of my problem, sinuses and nasal passage in my breathing triangle. This is like 5.5 years ago now, and after that short procedure, since that moment, breathing better than ever, sleeping through the whole night. Last night, 7 hours uninterrupted sleep. Actually went to bed later, still felt great. If you struggle like I used to, take the time. Make the effort to find out how Advent can help you, to find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better and your life better. Go to adventknows.com, schedule an appointment today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. You may have heard Congress pass the One Big Beautiful Bill, which President Trump campaigned on. Leaving the non-tax parts out, what does the new law mean for business? To be honest, less than you think. There are larger deductions for purchasing equipment and other fixed assets in the year of purchase. The Qualified Business Income Deduction, or QBID, is now a permanent deduction for partnerships and S corporations. Remember the 1099-K back and forth? The minimum amount for issuing 1099-Ks, which are typically from credit card companies or e-commerce sites like Amazon or Shopify, will now be $20,000. Call us now for a free consultation to see how you may be affected by the new law. Call 414-325-2040 now. You earned it. We help you keep it. That's 414-325-2040 or nealgroup.net.
Paying you to live more comfortably. A deal you do not want to pass up. Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. They will insulate your walls from the exterior. No disruption inside your home. Blow in loose fiberglass in the attic, plus air seal everything. Most homeowners feeling a difference within 24 to 48 hours. And with government rebates, you could save 40 to 60% or more. No work for you to do. USA Insulation will process everything. Visit usainsulation.net. Start saving today.
USA Insulation.
The famous Fox and Hound Supper Club is hiring qualified kitchen expediters, ensuring food quality is at the highest standards. You'll make real money working nights and weekends. Inquire today and start next week. Contact the famous Fox and Hounds today.
Happy Tuesday if you celebrate. I'm like in a not celebratory mood, even though I have a birthday coming up next month.
I know.
Yeah.
But you're going to be gone for your birthday, right?
I will. Yeah, I will be in. I will be in either Sicily or
so
Malta.
I can't embarrass you for your birthday on air?
Well, you probably could, but
Let's do it without you.
I wouldn't be here to answer that embarrassment.
Just have a embarrassing old picture of you on the talk and text line that people have to text in to if they want to see it.
Well, knowing your internet skills, you could probably find some, if nothing else, a fat picture of me, fatter picture of me. Just to put a sort of a wrap, I know we got to take another break because we've been yakking too much this morning. I'm not suggesting the president. Somebody sent me a text saying you're saying the president's going to sign an executive order. I don't know that he's going to do that.
No.
He
I think you were saying
orders.
like what if? I think it was a hypothetical.
And I have warned people. All the folks who cheerlead all these executive orders, including my friend Bill McCoshen. At some point, there'll be another president who doesn't represent you or your party. Once the whatever is out of the barn, the horse is out of the barn.
Pandora's box.
Yes. I mean, you open Pandora's box. And what do you think is going to happen? And again, First Amendment, they could do things with that. Second Amendment, you could ban hate speech because right now hate speech is not, there's nothing against the Constitution in hate speech. My friend Rick Essenberg pointed out clearly, and I did research. You can hate on people all you want. That's protected speech.
I will say I don't agree with much with Rick Essenberg, but if you say what you will about him, he is ideologically consistent.
Absolutely.
As far as I saw some of his back and forth on what I know we're going to talk about next hour, which is the amount of people who've been fired over their response.
Yeah.
This is a big social media show.
Yeah.
And Rick kind of covered the defense of like, let's slow down on this as far as him being such a staunch supporter of the First Amendment.
Yeah.
And that doesn't cut just because you're on a team.
Yeah, direct quote from Rick Essenberg. There's no hate speech exception to the First Amendment. And that's exactly right. And he'll defend that to the day he dies. I know Rick really well, and that's something he believes in. He's consistent, amazingly consistent, which is what most people are not. That's some of the problem we have. We'll do something fun in the last segment. Just anything you want to add to this conversation?
I feel like this is an ongoing conversation, right?
Yeah.
This is not a topic that's going away. We'll see if there's traction with any kind of bill on the state level in Wisconsin that could come up for
I called
phone
for a
use
ban yesterday.
for students. Obviously, there's more happening at the school district side. But yeah, I mean, it's an ongoing conversation. So I'm sure at a future date, I'll have more to say.
Yeah, and somebody said I'm trying to be, I'm trying to tell parents what to do. Well, sometimes I want parents to be better parents, I'm also not a fan of parents who like have their kid doing, traveling around the Midwest playing sports exclusively and like treating school like the education side. It's like, whatever. They'll go to college and play sports and that's how they'll get educated. Yeah, that's not probably going to happen for your kid. Most don't. So you can love all that travel nonsense, but...
Well, it's also, I mean, not even if you have a kid who is that good, they're one injury away from everything being over.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what's his face from Friday Night Lights? Football.
Yeah, exactly.
What would we do if I can't play football?
And
what's his name? What's that character's name?
I don't know. You're supposed to know. You bring it up, you have to know what it is. I think parents have a very tough job, tougher than ever. Smartphones, social media made it all the more tough. And I think we're all trying to figure it out. But I will not sit here doing what we do and not have some answers.
Booby Miles.
There you go.
I actually didn't. I was starting to look it up, and then it came to me.
There you go.
It's a heartbreaking scene in that movie. All right, let's take a break.
Do something fun after this.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristin Brey. If you're looking for a new dentist, you should check out my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. I can assure you that he will prioritize your needs no matter how sensitive, just like he did with mine. If you're due for a dental visit, Economwalk Dental Care has an $89 new patient special, so you can get the care that you need at an affordable price. In addition to my exam, Dr. Michael's staff provided a gentle, professional cleaning that left my mouth feeling smooth and rejuvenated. Listen, we all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Check out Economwalk Dental Care at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give them a call at 262-567-7224. Start 2025 on a good note by feeling confident about your smile and go see my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Drafty windows means wasted money. Call Siding Unlimited today for energy-efficient replacement windows and doors and start saving now. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
You know the voice.
Fly ball, right field, out of here!
You know the iconic calls.
Fly ball, deep right! Back to back!
And you know he's our Brewers 360 guest on Wisconsin's Morning News. Every Wednesday at 8:45, it's Brewers broadcaster Jeff Levering. Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Jeremiah Johnson made his way into the mountains.
Famous Robert Redford movie, and Robert Redford passed, 89 years old. If you love nature and the West, this is a movie about that, and it's a famous scene with a bear. I'll just leave it at that.
More famous than The Revenant?
That's a different kind of, that's in some ways similar, because bears are nasty. They can be if you mess with them. Anyway, he messed with them, and then...
What's the place in West Bend? Shalom? that has the bear that you can feed and tigers and...
No idea. In West Bend, Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I
Never heard
just
of it.
learned about this place. I have never been, but it's like a sanctuary for rescued animals.
Yeah.
And apparently there's a bear there that you can feed, which seems kind of terrifying.
So as homework for you, you're going to watch some of the Robert Redford movies. You're not going to like just watch modern movies.
No, I told you I have a list of old movies.
Have you seen The Godfathers 1 and 2?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I don't think I've seen 3 all the way through.
3's not.
I know, and that's why I've never felt like
It
I
falls
needed to see it. But I've seen 1 and 2 multiple times.
I've been in many of the locales where those films were shot in Sicily. It's amazing, gorgeous. I'll be back there in a couple weeks.
What are we listening
We're
to?
still listening to the soundtrack from Jeremiah Johnson because we're just winding it up to 57.
Reminds me of like the Bambi orchestra background music.
Bambi and Jeremiah Johnson, not the same thing.
Not the same thing?
No.
Okay.
I remember crying at Bambi when I was a kid, though.
What's sadder, when Bambi's mom dies or when Mufasa dies?
Well, for me, it was Bambi. Yeah.
Okay.
The mom, yeah.
Mufasa dies also.
I cried at E.T. when I saw it in the theater. I mean, seriously, how did you not cry?
I don't know. I was a kid.
The theater was full of people like me crying. I don't know how old I was.
I think that movie came out the year I was born.
Really?
86?
So I must have been, okay, so I was 10 years out of high school? No, that's got to, no, I was graduated from high school in 76. Did you say 76 or 86?
86.
10 years after high school. Cried. How about that? You learned something about me.
You're a sensitive soul.
I try to be, except when I hear and see stupidity, which is far too common in the world we live in now. We do have a new podcast coming out this week. We'll tell you more about it as we sort of wind the week up. It's going to be out Thursday, I believe.
Thursday.
You need to listen episode
17?
I think we're up to 17
18?
now. And I got a nice list of Scaffidi. I'm like recorded out through almost November now, so I stacked my work because I'm going to be gone for a while. So we got some good ones coming up and some good ones still to record. So I'm looking forward to that. You can always find those wherever you get your podcasts or at WTMJ.com. Speaking of WTMJ.com, you can find our podcast for this show. Points is the way you text to find out, 855-616-1620, or just go to the podcast page on the platform. And a lot of people do. We're a very popular podcast on the station.
I wonder if numbers dropped while I was gone.
Well, not according to the numbers I saw, because I did pretty well. We were the number most viewed on one of my posts. I should say Jazz's post, because she does all that work. I talked, she posted, and it was like number 1. So cool for us. All right, big hour coming up. Second hour of her return. Much celebrated return. Kristin Brey coming back to Point Taken from a well-deserved break. We'll do that with the news next on 620 WTMJ.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining me today is Jeff Salazinski, Executive Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, talking about employee benefits today and R&R Insurance, of course, a great benefits program for all of us here at Good Karma Brands. So when it comes to benefits, what are some of the real challenges employers are facing today?
Vince, the buying environment has not been easy for many employers, really driven by cost increases and the rapid innovation in today's specialty prescription drugs and medical treatments. The explosion of GLP-1 drugs and their usage is impacting planned financials. Specialized gene therapies are revolutionizing medicine, but also sending shockwaves through health plan economics and risk management frameworks.
So, Jeff, of course, you know, managing an employee health plan, doing that well takes time, it takes expertise. So how is R&R supporting its clients and keeping them informed on all of these issues you just mentioned?
Sure. We have an elite team of analytics resources that blend their years of experience with technology and innovation when designing plans for our clients. We use strategy and our expert resources to help you control costs and maximize the value of your employee benefits plan. Plus, we provide local management and service and support all over the state.
So what else can R&R Insurance provide that sets you apart?
We help employers brand their benefit package in a customized, easy-to-understand fashion, taking out the complex and confusing nature of shopping for health insurance. Most importantly, we'll manage and provide as much support as you need for your open enrollment and beyond. With our latest mobile technology, your employees will have easy and immediate access to benefits information for themselves and their families 24/7.
Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
There's no better place to catch the natural wonders of fall than Lake Geneva. Stroll a lakeshore path in a kaleidoscope of color. Explore winding rustic roads. Take a scenic boat tour or glide through a forest on a zip line. At night, stargaze from a historic observatory, cozy up to a campfire, or have a cocktail on the patio. Enjoy the seasonal bounty at orchards, wineries, and farms with flavors to savor. Plan your fall getaway now at visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva. It's always been the place for fall fun.
This September, test dress any mattress at Steinhafels and you'll get a $20 restaurant gift card. Plus, Steinhafels will donate $20 to Special Spaces Wisconsin, creating dream bedrooms for kids with cancer. Stop in this month, enjoy a night out, and help make a difference.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Hey, is this heaven? No, it's Milwaukee. And a liner into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Around third is Durbin. Here comes the throw home. Durbin slides in there safely. The Brewers walk it off in 10.
It's the Brewers and Angels in Milwaukee. Our radio network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 11:01, it's 74 degrees. Today's sunny and warm, a high of 83. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm John Mercure. The 22-year-old suspect accused of fatally shooting conservative activist Charlie Kirk is expected to be formally charged today with murder. ABC News national correspondent Matt Gutman is in Orem, Utah with the latest.
In just a few hours, the state's attorney is expected to bring 3 charges against the suspect, including aggravated murder. That could bring the death penalty. In the charging sheet, they'll also lay out much of the evidence that they've been able to gather against the suspect over the past several days. And after that, later today, he will have his first appearance in court.
Closer to home, a second person has been arrested in connection to an Amber Alert in Portage County.
Now the mother of Ruby Lehman is in custody. Our news partners WISC-TV report 31-year-old Chelsea Lehman is facing charges related to her daughter's disappearance. The 6-year-old was reported missing from her grandmother's house in Almond on Thursday night. She was found on Saturday in the woods with her uncle, 34-year-old Jordan Coyle. He is a registered sex offender and was taken into custody on a probation violation. Charges have not been officially filed for Lehman or Coyle. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Governor Evers says he's protecting access to vaccines for Wisconsin residents.
Governor Tony Evers signed an executive order Monday following new federal restrictions limiting who is eligible for the updated COVID-19 shot. The governor's order directs state agencies to ensure vaccine access and clarify confusion from federal changes. The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reports Wisconsin is one of several states creating new vaccine protocols independent of federal health officials. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Actor Robert Redford has died at the age of 89. ABC's Michelle Franzen.
Robert Redford's breakthrough role came in 1969 when he co-starred with Paul Newman in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I'll jump first. No. Then you jump first. No, I said. What's the matter with you? I can't swim! Why, are you crazy? The fall will probably kill you.
Redford and Newman teamed up again in 1973's The Sting, and that same year it was Redford and Barbra Streisand in The Way We Were. Redford went on to win a Best Director Oscar for Ordinary People. Asked once about the Oscar race.
If you're talking about a race, the Oscar race, that I have no use for.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red. The Dow is down 118 points. The NASDAQ is off 28. The S&P 500 is down 11 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
For over 40 years, the Boucher Automotive Group is proud to have served Wisconsin with dedication and heart, one customer at a time. But we knew we could do even more.
In the last 5 years, we've expanded across the state, adding new locations, new brands, and new ways to better serve you.
At Boucher, growth isn't always about being bigger. It's about being better. Better selection, better service, better experiences.
Where you're going matters, and Boucher is driven to get you there. The Boucher Automotive Group. We ride with you every mile.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. That's why professional athletes choose Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. We can help you too. With the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes, you can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Whether you want to get back into the game or just get back to life, go where the pros go. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Does our Inspired Closets team make dreams come true?
Every day, Dan. From consultation to design to installation, the whole process is built around our clients.
Which is how we earn our 5-star reviews. It's our team that makes the difference.
Inspired Closets is more than just organization. It's an investment in you.
Get started today at inspiredclosets.com.
Inspired Closets Milwaukee, a wife and husband team.
Potential is like God's love. It lives within everyone and shows us that we are made for more. At Aug Prep, faith ignites excellence in academics, the arts, athletics, and every aspect of our lives. Students don't just realize their full potential, we learn to soar. The #1 K-12 school in Milwaukee is expanding to the North Shore and is now enrolling grades K4 through 6th and 9th. Aug Prep North, made for more. Apply today at augprep.org.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers back in action today at American Family Field, starting a 3-game series against the Angels. The Crew hold a 5-game lead in the NL Central over the Cubs and a magic number of 8 to clinch the NL Central. Coverage starts at 6:05 right here on WTMJ. And the Packers head to Cleveland this Sunday as 8.5-point favorites over the Cleveland Browns. Let's check out those roads. One issue to really tell you about: debris in the road, I-94 westbound near Hawley, so be careful out there. Couple shoulder closures because of disabled vehicles on 43 as you head south, so just be aware of that. Time for the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunny and warm today, high of 83. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 56. On Wednesday, sunny, warm, a high of 83. Thursday, more sunshine, 83. On Friday, slight chance for rain, a high of 79. And on Saturday, chance for rain, a high of 76 degrees. Right now in Madison, bright sunshine and 77. In Green Bay, sunny and 77. In Milwaukee, lots of sunshine and 74 degrees. I'm John Mercure, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:07.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Well, welcome back to the 11 o'clock hour of Point Taken. And this is my first time back on the air in a week. It's weird how you get used to having a place to come every day and talk through the news of the day.
How's your voice? Because that's often my challenge, is getting back into like the talk radio voice.
That's actually fine, but I did work out this morning for the first time in a long time.
Got the blood going?
I'm already feeling that I'm going to be sore tomorrow because I am very out of shape. All right, so
it's got to start somewhere.
How to approach this? I think, as you said before, hate speech is still protected under the First Amendment as of right now.
Other than threatening violence, everything, you can just basically say whatever you want.
But Attorney General Pam Bondi is trying to say that they are different.
And the president just lashed out a reporter for, I didn't see what they were saying, but the banner said that he lashed out a reporter for suggesting they can't do that.
And I mean, to a certain extent, we already know, right? The free speech, being free from consequences of your private employer, has always been something that is up to the employer of whether or not they want to keep you employed after you say something on social media, whether that's because of what their social media guidelines are in their employee handbook. But we've seen this largely, when the viral video of the fan, again, I got this wrong before. It was an Eagles fan. It was an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
Right? And he ended up getting fired. Or any of these outbursts that we end up seeing where it's like, oh, make her famous or whatever, when someone acts poorly in public and then they end up losing their job. We are now seeing this a lot in the fallout or in the wake of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. There's websites that are dedicated to submitting posts from people so that they can be doxxed, that they can be looked up in like a repository of information. It seems like there's hundreds already that we're hearing as far as people being fired in the aftermath, including a Washington Post columnist who had a really brilliant Substack, and I read what she wrote, and she barely even mentioned Charlie Kirk, but she was talking about as a country, how we fail to confront the pattern of the types of violence that we're seeing, and she was let go. And I guess and I want to tread lightly because this is not to diminish that anyone who was gleeful or and made light of this, I completely condemn. And also the fact that the people who are so angry about any free speech over this are also the overlap of the people who were talking about the woke cancellations and how cancel culture was over and go woke, go broke and all this stuff. And like how those two things can be true at the same time.
I would say that cancel culture is bad. It's a bad thing. It's often based not in like really knowing what the person said, it's just sort of reacting to what you think they said or what you think they meant. I'm going to go back to this because I had a lot of time this morning. The old phrase, don't speak ill of the dead. How different would this storyline be if people would have just said, you know what, horrible, left it at that. But in this culture that we live in, I'm using absolutes, but everyone feels like they have to weigh in and tell us what they think on social media about what happened. How about just pausing for a second and realizing it's horrific? Let people grieve. Let people just in their own skin deal with it. Why do we feel like we have to, like, lecture's too strong a word, but fill in all the missing pieces of how people feel about it? Yeah. It's a horrific thing. It doesn't matter what your politics are. It doesn't matter even what you said. To be slaughtered in front of your family, in front of the nation and the world on live TV, essentially, because it's everywhere, right? Thankfully, and you were surprised that I said this before, I have not seen the graphic image because I don't want to. I've seen enough graphic images in my life. I don't need to. I've seen the description. All I need. Should not happen in a country like ours, but this is increasingly happening over and over again. And all I'm saying is, we are not going to ban hate speech. That is, unless this Supreme Court is off their rocker, it's a protected right. Right? Congress shall make no law abridging freedom of speech. Pretty clear, with a few other words in the middle of that. It's not hard to understand what that means. Other than threatening violence against another person, you can say whatever you want, as ugly as even hate-filled as you think that may be. It's just the country we live in. It's sort of the uniqueness of our country, good and bad, right?
Why do you... Because here's the thing. So let's go back to the attempted assassination of Donald Trump over a year ago. There was certainly people who had jokes about that. And I don't think that we saw mass firings over that. Did we?
I have no idea.
At least that wasn't a news story as far as hundreds of people in the wake of that attempted assassination and people who made light of it.
I know people made light of it because I read some of them.
People made light of it. People had conspiracy theories immediately. And argue, I don't think it's a question. Donald Trump, much more famous than even Charlie Kirk. And, there's a lot of people who I think if you didn't follow politics and you weren't online, you may not have known who Charlie Kirk was until last week.
Yeah, well, everyone knows who he is now.
And everyone knows who he is now. But so what has shifted in the culture that more employers are being proactive in, nope, shut it down, you're fired. Like I said, there was a guy who manages a Texas roadhouse, and his wife said something, and he got fired.
Sensitivity of employers.
Okay.
Clear language in what employees, I don't know about the spouse, seems a little stretched, but I got, whatever in this world we live in now, who knows? And an understanding how serious this conversation is. And I would say that most of these institutions, organizations, companies, whatever, are saying, we're telling you in your contract, whatever that work contract is, please don't do this. If you do it, we're going to fire you. So
sometimes those contracts are vague because I remember after Sam
Kuffel.
I wanted to say kerfuffle. I was like, it was a kerfuffle. But when she got fired at the beginning of the year, I don't know what that company's social media guidelines were. But I went and looked up ours for Good Karma brands, and it's very vague. It's very, very vague. And so my reaction to that is, do you know what your social media guidelines are for your employer, and how detailed is it for you to know when you cross the line?
My advice to people is, beyond what I just said, take a pause. I do it. I did not post anything inflammatory or really almost anything about it. I think I'll look it up during the break, because I had like a 5 or 6 word post saying, I think if I remember correctly, our country has to be better than this. That was my post. That's the last thing I posted on that Charlie Kirk thing. That was my response, because I believe that.
The difference is you have a platform to get on and talk about it every day, and you have basically talked about it every day since it happened.
Absolutely, in a much different way than we're talking.
Totally,
about.
absolutely. Yeah. I'm just saying, as far as the
privilege
medicine that we have, because I did respond to it, and on social media, and I think about it now, and I'm like, would I have done that had I known I was coming to do the show the next day?
Yeah, a question we all have to ask.
And so this feeling that social media has given us an opportunity to express ourselves, whether or not you have a job that lets you express yourself every day to the public, and people's need to get something off their chest instead of just having a trusted text thread with their friends.
And as I said earlier, I don't think that the social media venue or avenue for getting it off your chest is helping our culture at all. I think it's actually doing the opposite. And that's just my take. I'd love to kind of keep the conversation about the work piece, because I think that's really, that difference is significant. Your contract, whatever it is, however vague their language is different than you just saying something in a bar or to your friends. It's two different things. Employers have rights. They can, to some degree, censor or limit the free speech or speech of their employees. No such rule in public. Just the general world we live in.
You can't go to jail for it.
No. But
unless Pam Bondi starts drafting legislation on what hate speech is, that you can go to jail for.
Yeah, and there's examples in this market, you mentioned one, of radio people being suspended for saying things that they shouldn't have said. They go back a ways, but I don't want to get into the details of that because it happened. But there are penalties even for radio talkers saying things on the radio out loud, using words or language that offend, that they've been punished for. Not on this station. I'll just say that. Quick break. Kristin and Steve, point taken.
All different types of injury lawyers advertise. Cartoon lawyers, bobblehead lawyers, and folks chasing ambulances with text messages. Our clients don't want or need such lawyers. Our clients know, like, and trust that Pasternak and Zergabel will help in their time of need. I'm Jeff Zergabel of Pasternak and Zergabel. Frank Pasternak and I are excellent personal injury lawyers in our community. If you need help after an injury, go to Pasternak and Zergabel at injurywisconsin.com. That's injurywisconsin.com.
Are you sick and tired of sad, skimpy, frozen pizzas that lack toppings and flavor? Problem solved. Screamin' Sicilian brings the party to pizza with mountains of whole milk mozzarella, premium meats, and veggies stacked to the sky. No tweaks necessary. Just tons of toppings and amazing flavor. Just bake it, bite it, and let it rip. Mamma mia! Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section. Screamin' Sicilian. Toppings piled high, screaming loud, always delicious.
Botox can do more for men than just smooth out wrinkles. It can help reduce chronic migraines, stress-related facial tension, and even excessive sweating. Come out to Brotox and Beers, Saturday, September 13th at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. It's an event for men who want to feel better, perform better, and look sharp without the fuss. Watch college football, get treated with Botox in the low-key, no-pressure setting of Sweet Talks, then have a brew when you're done. Spots are limited, so reserve yours now at sweettalks.com. That's SWEETTOX.com.
When it rains, it pours. But sometimes it hails. Or worse.
That tornado warning again is for Fond du Lac and Dodge County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now.
Keep us within reach for Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts.
Even if a tornado does not touch down, we know that there are powerful straight line winds.
On 620 WTMJ and WTMJ.com.
Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday edition. Kristin and Brey is indeed back. Talking about free speech, I think it's an interesting conversation. we are so accustomed now to being able to say whatever we want. I think social media sort of freed the reins, right? In the old days, you said something somebody didn't like, they punch you in the face. That was my high school experience.
That's what reminds me of the ex-NHL player when that viral video on the golf course.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
And he gave him a lot of chances to shut up.
Yes, exactly. That was one of those videos where it's like, yeah, sometimes people just need to get punched in the face. That's a terrible thing to say, especially as we're trying to turn down the violent rhetoric across the board. But it's, there's, I don't know what point I'm trying to make. I take it back.
So a texter asked this question. Do you think that free speech is under attack? I do. Yeah. And another one of these things we're going to have to sort out because, again, we are not making incremental improvements on these conversations. We're making things worse. I do argue that political violence is worse. I do argue that political rhetoric is way worse. And every time I say that, I get somebody, history professor, say, we had like Hamilton and Burton and all that. Yeah, I get it. Basically, people walked around with a sidearm on their belts. We're not to that point yet.
You got challenged to a duel, and it was legal if you did it in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I saw Hamilton.
There was rules of engagement even then, back then. So, I do argue that these things are increasing and increasingly dangerous. We've had 2 assassination attempts on the president. One was actually a shot. The other one was at a golf course where they apprehended the person. We've had lawmakers in Minnesota killed at their homes. We've had judges attacked, their kids attacked. The president just approved $50 million for additional funding for protection of elected officials.
Josh Shapiro's house was set on fire.
Josh Shapiro. So you can't tell me, and I'm not going to believe that there's less or it's the same. It's not the same. And the reaction part, which is what we're talking about, the free speech part is, we want to talk about these things because that's our culture now. We want to react and respond and be engaged. But there's risks to that behavior. And all I'm saying is, just like I was pretty strong on smartphones, I was pretty strong on social media, and I do believe those things. I think we have to start thinking about how we conduct ourselves in the realm of social media and how we react to these things, which are coming at us fast and furious. Everyone has a right to their opinion. Everyone also has, they should, the understanding that there's responsibility to those words. The punch in your face argument. Like you said something, they punch in your face because they didn't like it, and you usually walked away at the end like, whatever. Have another beer. Here, I'll buy you a beer. Worked it out. Well, now people have guns. And they're killing each other over this.
Think about road rage.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Where do you want to take this?
I don't know.
It's so depressing. I think it's weird because I was on vacation, but I was so emotionally drained for almost the entire thing because of this. Because it's just, it feels like we're in such a bad place right now. And there's not a whole lot of loud voices who are trying to bring us together.
That is wisdom, because there aren't. And that's
what it feels like. It's like screaming. And because where I came out of this is, I listened to the show yesterday with Steven when Steven was here.
Olakara, yeah.
And I literally texted him. I was like, I want to learn more about what you guys are doing.
Yeah. He was on stage with Charlie Kirk many times.
But as far as the civility movement that he's working on, I know there's another group called Builders that I've featured some of the work that they're doing, and they're the same way. It's like my reaction to this is doubling down more. It was the same reaction I had after the election. It was like doubling down more on how do we talk to people we don't agree with? How do we turn down the temperature? But there's not a lot of people who that's their reaction.
Yeah, they want to dial it up. I'll say this: I did a series of shows Thursday, Friday, Monday, where I'm trying to lower the temperature. And if you're a listener and you were listening to those shows, did you get that was what I was trying to do? Take the temperature down, because I think it's important. There are other people who do what I do who are not doing that. I think that's destructive behavior. It's not something, as a station owner or a company, I would encourage people to dial up the temperature, because that's what's happening on some places on the radio, on TV, and on podcasts. Dangerous behavior, sometimes dangerous consequences. We'll take a break. 6:20.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
When that big online store has special days with ridiculously low prices?
Yeah?
Why doesn't Hasselus Mattress do that?
We do.
You do? When?
Every day.
Okay, good one. But really, when are the big discounts?
Like I said, every day. Our showrooms are employee-free.
So I can give your mattresses a try.
With no pushy sales guy.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that allows us to sell Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, and more for way less.
Give me numbers.
Our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393. Free next day delivery, too.
And you do this every day?
Yeah. Plus, through Monday, get a free box spring with every Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, and more, or take an equal amount off an adjustable base.
Wow.
So I guess you could say now is a prime time to buy.
I see what you did there.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselist.com.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scaffidi, and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handled all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We want to do the same for you. Annex does financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
Well, it's breakfast with the boys, and then bingo is at 3 in the afternoon. I lost that super lady I'd lived with for 60 years, but have found a home and doing well. The accommodations, the facilities, it's been a pleasure, and I hope to hang around a couple of more years anyhow.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Accurate Basement Repair. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Kristin and Steve on this Tuesday edition. Good to have her back in studio.
Good to be back, Steve.
And I'll be gone in a couple of weeks, so you'll have...
Where are you going again?
Sicily and Malta. Malta's a separate country now, off the coast of Africa.
Okay.
It's as close as I'll ever be to Africa until I go to Africa. So
You haven't been to any African countries?
No, it's on our list.
Egypt's next year.
Egypt's next year.
So that'll be your first African country.
Yeah.
What other countries in Africa do you want to go to?
I don't know. South Africa, certainly. And, Morocco sounds interesting.
Morocco sounds very interesting.
Yeah. Casablanca. Yeah.
Tanzania?
Maybe. I don't
Kenya?
know. I don't want to go on a safari.
Tunisia?
Because I don't think
I used to know every single continent. I mean, every single country on the continent and the capital city.
Were you good in the geography bee?
No, it's because I took a fascinating class in college called AIDS in Africa, and that was one of the things that we had to be able to do is know where all the countries were and what the capital city was.
It's a good skill set
I don't
to
know if
have.
I could still do it.
South America would be tough. There's some weird lines and stuff there. You have to remember all those countries. Real quick, before I go to the news break, I often ask this question. I did it a lot last week because I had a lot of time to fill. Where we're at now on the subject of free speech, political violence, politics in general, are you more pessimistic than maybe you were before about the future, like where we're going? Because I'm very pessimistic now, and I'm generally an optimistic person.
My initial reaction last week was, this is opening the gates for it to get a lot worse before it gets better.
That's my thought. And I don't like that.
Mostly because I think a lot of the ills that are creating the problem, there's not the political will to regulate it.
There's no political will to
and
do
so
anything.
I think it's just going to keep festering.
We're going to have a government shutdown. I'm almost convinced of it because both sides, Democrats are holding the line on what they want. They want a health care piece of that thing. Republicans say absolutely not. Republicans want a certain thing. Government shutdown. And this could be a brutal one. It's been a few years. It could be brutal for the things that are going to be shut down, closed. that's where we've gotten here. So you don't want to have a debate with the other side because you hate them. Okay, so how's that going to work when you start impacting things like, air travel or mail or some of the things that you have in your lives that touch the federal government, even payments, grant payments. People, you have to think through this stuff, and I think that's where it sort of falls apart. So, yes, making conscious effort to turn down the temperature. I think that has to happen for companies, employees, radio listeners, radio hosts, TV hosts, anybody. As an older person, that's what I would recommend because I think that worked for me. I took it down. I took it way down over the weekend, and I felt fine on Monday. Still irritated, but felt fine just by stepping back.
Take a breath.
All right, ABC.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A judge has dismissed 2 state charges, including a terrorism count against Luigi Mangione. He's the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a New York City street. ABC's Aaron Katersky says other charges remain.
Mangione is still going to be facing these murder charges that accuse him of intentionally killing Brian Thompson, but absent that terroristic enhancement. So it is a win for the defense. The case is slightly narrowed, and he's due back here now December 1st.
In Utah, state prosecutors expected to formally charge suspect Tyler Robinson today for the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Charges could include aggravated murder, which could warrant the death penalty. President Trump traveling to the UK. He'll meet with King Charles and attend a state dinner. Before leaving, the president says he'll also talk trade with Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Robert Redford has died. The actor, director, and producer's career spanned decades. He was 89. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm John Mercure. A former school safety aide at Milwaukee Public Schools faces sexual misconduct charges. 31-year-old Samara Miller accused of sending inappropriate text to a student at Bradley Tech High School. In a criminal complaint, she admitted to sending the text between November 2024 and January 2025. A DoorDash customer in Milwaukee facing criminal charges for vandalism. 22-year-old Johnny Jones accused of following a DoorDash driver home over a food order that couldn't be delivered. She allegedly threw a brick at the driver's car and repeatedly smashed the vehicle with a tire iron. Damages over $10,000. Jones is charged with a felony. And Governor Tony Evers has signed an executive order to protect access to COVID-19 vaccines for Wisconsin residents. The governor's order directs state agencies to ensure vaccine access and clarify confusion from federal changes. In recent weeks, updated COVID-19 vaccines were made available at pharmacies across the Badger State. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red. Right now, the Dow is down 114 points. The NASDAQ is off 12. The S&P 500 is down 8 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Checking out the roads. Your WTMJ Time Saver traffic, it is pretty quiet. A little bumps. I-41-45, the ramp from County Line Road. The shoulder is blocked there, so a little bit of a slowdown. And on 94 South near Highway 20, south of the city, the shoulder is also blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, sunny and warm, a high of 83. Tomorrow, mostly clear, a high of 83. On Thursday, sunny, 83. Friday, partly sunny, a high of 79. Saturday, chance for rain, a high of 76 degrees. Right now in Madison, sunny and 78. In Green Bay, lots of sunshine and 77. Here in Milwaukee, sunny skies and 75 degrees. I'm John Mercure, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:33.
Brake issues, electrical issues, four-wheel drive issues, exhaust issues, and even my car just won't start issues.
You name it, we fixed it.
So the next time you're due for service, drive it on into Richlands and let our ASE certified technicians get you fixed up and safely back on the road.
Nothing warms my heart more than seeing our customers drive out of here with big old smiles on their faces. And all the credit goes to our staff, the most friendly, honest, hard-working, knowledgeable people in the business.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved,
and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to provide you with top-notch service.
And after your vehicle's been serviced, drop us a Google review and let us know how we did.
Because a Google review from you goes a long way. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Richlands Tire and Service. Such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Pull up to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee and shoot your shot at big wins for Sweet Ticket September. Play with your rewards card for entries. Score triple on drawing Thursday. Win slam dunk prizes like cash, reward plate, and tickets to see the Milwaukee Bucks in action. Sweet Ticket September. You ready for this? Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Well, welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey. He is Steve Scaffidi. Changing topics to, I'm not going to say something more cheerful, but something that I feel like you can take action on, which is always the antidote to feeling hopeless.
It's a classic do something.
Right? As far as feeling like instead of just scrolling and feeling bad about everything, having some kind of action plan and feeling like you can help makes you feel better. So this is a cause that I care about a lot. This is an organization that I care about a lot, but it's National Diaper Need Awareness Week. And basically it's meant to draw attention to the public health crisis affecting not only just our state, but across the country. So basically 1 in 2 families that have small children struggle to afford the diapers that they need because diapers are really expensive and they are not covered by SNAP or WIC or any of the governmental programs.
You're on your own, basically.
You're on your own. And
why
so,
is that?
I don't know, but you know, like we're still in diapers, although Frankie is trying to potty train. She's very interested in the potty, but
I would think you and Mike would be past that by now, but you know,
yeah, that too.
Whatever.
All right, so I want to cut to the chase because the organization is Milwaukee Diaper Mission. My good friend Megan Johnson, who's the founder, is here in person to talk about their annual Big Give Back, which is their biggest fundraiser of the year. It's going on right now. It's going on through Sunday. And so I guess, Megan, welcome.
Thank you.
I guess first, for people who are unfamiliar with what diaper need is, how do you describe it?
Yeah, so diaper need is a lack of an adequate supply of diapers in order to keep a baby clean, dry, and healthy. And as you mentioned, 1 in 2 families in the U.S. struggle to afford diapers. We know that that's true anecdotally here in Milwaukee with our work with other nonprofits across the city who are seeing families in need on a weekly or monthly basis. They don't have the funds to be able to purchase enough diapers for their babies. They're having to choose between food and diapers. Moms are having to choose between period supplies and diapers at the grocery store. So these are real consequences of these issues. And that's why Milwaukee Diaper Mission exists.
It's not like it's an inexpensive thing. You were telling me during a break that you can spend up to $100 on one of the large things, which how long does that last? I have no idea. I mean,
depends on the age of the child. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know how often things happen. I wonder, you know, why this is something that we just haven't like included in a package for people. Especially that people always need help. We've always found ways to help them. It seems like this would have been a no-brainer like decades ago, but here we are.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, back in 2020, when I learned that most major cities in the United States have a diaper bank or a basic needs bank, and Milwaukee had zero resource like this, that was shocking to me. As a mom of 2 little boys in diapers, I couldn't imagine having to make those difficult choices. And so finding out that this organization didn't exist and bringing it to life was step 1. Step 2 is, you know, educating our community about the issue of the need and bringing our community together to do something about it. And that's why we're here today.
Do you take diapers and cash, or are you looking for cash?
We do. So we accept in-kind donations of diapers, wipes, and period supplies on a regular basis. Folks love to host supply drives for us, and we're so appreciative of that support. but we can actually take dollars and stretch them further with our bulk buying. So we have a warehouse and we buy diapers by the truckload, by the pallet. And, we're distributing at that rate, about 135,000 diapers every month. So
how many different families on average?
So we estimate that on average we serve about 5,000 individuals in the city of Milwaukee.
That's a logistics network, right?
And that's every single month. So, the need continues to rise as we've seen benefits being cut, as we've seen just the socioeconomic landscape in our city and in our country. And so, this resource is more vital than ever before.
So I'll do a quick plug because, like I said, it's their big give back right now. It's been a little bit of a rough time, which we'll come back to in a second. But if you would like to donate $5, $10, we would really, really appreciate it. I'm going to selfishly send you to our fundraising page because Mike and I, for the second year in a row, are contributing a fundraising page to the Big Give Back. So you text diapers, plural, DIAPERS, to 855-616-1620. We'll send you the link to donate. And anything, because how far does $5 go?
Yeah, we can purchase twice as much as you can at the store with our bulk buying. So it truly is stretched further. We're also, during this campaign, all donations are being matched by our partner, Nuna Baby. So if you donate $20, it's actually $40. If you donate $100, it's actually $200. So that impact is furthered. And if people donate to your specific campaign, that will help you and Mike reach your goal and give a very happy birthday to little Frankie, who they're raising funds, in honor of this year.
Credit to the work you do, Megan, and also to the fact that you and Mike are doing this, because you raised, $9,500 last year or something like that?
We blew it out of the water last year. I did not know how. And I think it was because it was Frankie's first birthday and we aligned it with that. But we were so lucky last year, and it was just how many people were so generous. But I think we ended up raising $9,700 last year, which was wildly unexpected and a very high bar to try to replicate this year. And it's been interesting because as you and I were talking, because the fun thing is, I think it's coming out today, right? My interview.
That'll be tomorrow. Yes, keep your eye on social media for Kristin tomorrow.
Because I got to interview Mariah Antetokounmpo, who's very
very nice.
Antetokounmpos are very involved in the organization. But we were talking about it because obviously the Big Give Back is the same. You always do it during Diaper Need Awareness Week. Mm-hmm. And it was on the heels of the flooding, right? And so the fact that you guys are asking for money after I think a lot of people have been donating to victims of the flood. And also this is during the time where the social media, as we've been talking about for days now, has been hard to break through the noise except the main topic at hand. So what has it been like to try to fundraise right now?
It's been incredibly difficult, I will say, because we work really hard as a very small team. We're a staff of only 4. So that's why we really lean on our community to host campaigns for us, like you and Mike are doing, to donate in any way that they possibly can, because we're a tiny but mighty team. And so we're putting together this campaign in the hopes that we can reach our goal and continue to serve families in the way that we are and continue to grow. We currently serve 28 nonprofits across the city of Milwaukee with these supplies, but we have a wait list of over 20 organizations who are still waiting for our support. So if people give, that helps us be able to expand and grow and serve more families who may have been affected by the flood, more parents who are experiencing anxiety and stress because they can't provide these items for their children in this world where there are already so many issues and problems.
You want to give any love to some of the corporate sponsors or folks that are helping you out on this mission?
Yeah, so Nuna Baby is an incredible partner of ours. They're matching all donations, as I mentioned. So every dollar you give is doubled because of their amazing support. And then we have a bunch of amazing community members who are fundraising on our behalf. So if you go to our website, you'll see lots of homemade campaign pages where individuals are raising funds and awareness to support our work. And we truly couldn't do this without our community. We have a goal of $50,000. We're at about $18,000 right now, so we have a little ways to go. We really encourage people to give anything they can so that we can further this work.
Kathy and I donated over the weekend, and we'll probably do so again. It's a great, great mission, I think, and one that's I didn't know a lot about until you did it last year.
I think it's one of the things, because I think people don't realize, I looked up this stat recently, the cost of diapers since 2018, which at that point your kids were also still adults, has raised 22%.
Yeah.
In 6 years.
And I'm pretty sure their salaries didn't go up 22%.
Well, that's what I mean. And so it's like the cost of things just keeps going up and people's wages are not going up. And so I think the reality for people your age who their kids have been out of diapers for a very long time of understanding how expensive it is now, like you just kind of forget. Maybe because you want to forget the diaper stage. And
I'll be honest, not my favorite stage of being a parent.
I bet not.
No.
You don't miss changing dirty? Do you change your grandparents or your grandkids dirty diapers?
No, absolutely not.
Abstain from that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So once again, if you text diapers to 855-616-1620, we're going to send you my husband's link for the fundraiser. You can also click through and find Milwaukee Diaper Mission's website and learn more about all the different things you do. Because this always comes up, and then we got to take a break. Because you guys also have resources for people who want to do cloth diapering.
Absolutely. We provide access to cloth diapers to anyone who's interested in using them. Cloth diapers have come a long way since the old days of plastic pants and a piece of fabric. They're much more modern and convenient, and they're something that, families have access to washing facilities, and they're interested in trying them. We're proud to provide those as well.
And from the text line, these people are amazing, just amazing. And I see a ton of diapers texts on here, so that means people are going to get the link and donate.
We love it. Honestly, anything, $5, $10, it's all going to be doubled by Nuna Baby. So anything you can give would really, really appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Megan
nice to meet
Johnson,
you.
founder
Nice
of
to meet you.
Milwaukee Diaper Mission. I'll see you soon.
Sounds good.
Thanks for
Have a
being
great day.
Bye.
For legal reasons, we must state that the Matrix Bedroom from Penny Mustard is in no way associated with any major motion picture of the same name. Any similarities are merely a coincidence.
It's no coincidence. If anything, Hollywood was inspired by the Matrix Bedroom.
Why do you say that?
Come on, look at the Matrix Bedroom's sleek, smooth appearance, the angled hard lines,
the tapered legs, and inset drawers.
I mean, it is Penny Mustard's most contemporary bedroom.
You could almost say it's neo-contemporary.
Careful.
Solid wood.
Forever tight bed brackets.
And thick drawer bottoms strong enough to stand on.
The Matrix Bedroom is a blockbuster.
We should really stop talking about this.
Fine, take this blue pill and you'll forget all about it.
That's a jelly bean.
Yeah, I know. I already ate the red one.
The Matrix Bedroom with queen panel bed, 10-drawer dresser, landscape mirror, and 3-drawer nightstand, starting at $82.47 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
You're not just a job number as a Sidex customer. They've been family-owned since 1988, and they treat you as part of their family. Upgrade and transform your current bathroom space with Sidex Windows Siding and Bath. They have seasoned design consultants with 10 to 30 years of experience. The owner, Joe, is honoring his dad's legacy with top-tier products and expert craftsmanship. It's Sidex, the best in the business. Get a free shower door upgrade when you mention WTMJ. Visit sidexremodel.com.
I know why you continue to live in pain. It's because you don't believe anything can be done to help. Maybe you bought into something and you've been burned before. I mean, your skepticism, it's understandable. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. And here we use powerful, anti-inflammatory, and cushioning pharmacological medicines to ease your pain. They're FDA approved and most medical insurance is going to pay for our treatments, including Medicare and Medicaid. And that's the litmus test. Because if insurance has shown to cover the cost of many of our patients' treatments, you can be sure it's valid medicine. It's not a biological treatment considered experimental or some new gimmick that's trying to hook you. The Rejuvenex approach to pain relief is legitimate. It helps to alleviate pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. And from what we've seen, it gives people a new lease on their lives.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we'll see you tomorrow.
Back to school means back to savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. Right now, get $3,000 off your roofing, your siding, your windows, or your bath project during the fall savings event. Don't wait. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com to claim your $3,000 savings and book your free estimate. Exterior Pros and Baths, Wisconsin's trusted home improvement experts. Trust the pros.
The famous Fox and Hound Supper Club is hiring qualified kitchen expediters, ensuring food quality is at the highest standards. You'll make real money working nights and weekends. Inquire today and start next week. Contact the famous Fox and Hounds today.
Little love for Robert Redford. He passed at the age of 89. Great, tremendous actor. And
They don't make him like that anymore.
no, good-looking man, too. I mean, let's not forget that.
I mean, I think that's probably one of my top, although I do have to go and watch a lot of his movies. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid I always loved.
Newman?
Is that what this is from? What's the soundtrack from that?
This is from The Sting.
This is from The Sting. What is the...
Raindrops Are Falling on My Head.
That is the titular
Classic,
song, yes.
classic song.
I mean, him and Paul Newman, I don't know. I don't know who... They were both really good looking, though.
That's closer and closer. Yeah. All right, 100 days to Christmas. So we're going to do a quick...
That blows my mind.
100 days.
How quickly this year has gone by. And I know that's a cliche, but how are we that close to Christmas?
This year has flown by, and for a lot of different reasons. Like that old person's lament that, as you get older, it just races by, and you tick up those dates, and birthdays come too fast. So I guess I'll approach this way. One, I like Christmas because it's family. That part I love about it. And see my grandkids, they're like super excited. They get way too much stuff, all that. Maybe at some point that'll sort of slow down because they'll basically fill their houses with toys because it's insane what they have already. But I thought about this, and you can even text in 855-616-1620. You can make it political, like what's your and I want it to be positive. Don't save the negativity. Got enough of that. A positive political wish or a wish for your family. Maybe I'll read one of the good ones after the break. I want people to be thinking in a more positive manner as we sort of walk through some of the stuff that's really challenging us now. So don't use it as an opportunity to take a shot at somebody. Just what's your wishes? Like for me, I would love to see something settled in the Mideast. What's happening in Gaza is horrific. We could do hours of programming on that, and I don't think there's an easy answer other than just stop blowing each other up or shooting at each other because of your religious faith identities or your country's identities. Ukraine, Russia. I can't imagine people in Ukraine were just living their lives. All of a sudden, a superpower says, we're going to take it and blow you up. And they've had to deal with that for a few years now. So I'd love to see those quiet down. That would be my wish.
So you want world peace? Is that what you're saying?
Peace on earth. I think it's part of a Christmas song.
Oh, gosh. Those are two
David
really
Bowie.
good ones. I would like for the economy to be okay because I think one of the other things I've been thinking the last week is if the bottom falls out at any point and people start struggling a lot and getting desperate, a lot of these problems are only going to be exacerbated. And so I would like for the economy, I would like for things to start shifting in a direction where people are making more money, feeling more secure, figuring out how wages can go up, have a stronger job economy. And so hopefully some policy issues or policies get pushed that can lead us to stability.
And it's, I don't know if it's 100 days is the mark, but there'll be shopping season soon. So go out and buy stuff because that sort of fuels the economy to some degree and keeps people at work. Store clerks and, managers of stores and gas station employees and people who work at Starbucks. And I always do this every year, not just because you're with me now, but I'm a big pay it forward guy. I will literally, and I'm not trying to brag. I'm a humble person generally. When you have an opportunity to do something nice for someone, just do it. Don't, if you're in a restaurant and you buy someone that's next to you.
You're really good at that.
Just do it. What's the big deal? It's like, it's $10.
Mike's
so
really
what?
good at that too.
It's such a great gesture. I watched the video last night. I know we're late for break, Jazz, where somebody was tapping their card on people's purchases at a grocery store. They rang up their groceries and they're going to put their card out and they just tap
sneak in.
I'm going to do that. I love that. Now, you got to be careful nowadays because they might think you're lunging at them.
That's true.
But I might work it out with the clerk or something. Or Starbucks or McDonald's. I did it last year at
drive-through?
McDonald's.
You want to pay for the person behind you?
So McDonald's, they'll make you buy, okay, so you're going to do that. You got to buy $50 of gift cards or $100 of gift cards, and then we'll take it off. It's so easy. So you go up there, if you bought something, you'll get that, but then you pay for the gift card, and then everyone after you gets their thing paid for on your gift card. Do it. What are you waiting for? Make someone's day, especially at this time of year, especially now when everyone's hating each other. That's my advice.
I actually have a good story about that when we come back.
All right. Kristin, Steve, point taken.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Speaking of WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi from Milwaukee. Weight loss, yes, it is true. I have lost 43 pounds, 44 on some days. I did it in my reduction phase, which was the early part of the year, and I've maintained it still. I've not gained weight, and I'm actually in the process of losing about 7 more pounds and making an even 50 for the year, feeling better, stronger, more confident than I have in many years. If you're frustrated by the trendy stuff, the expensive stuff, the shots, the gimmicky meals bar shakes, Milwaukee Weight Loss helps you lose the weight on your own with willpower. None of the crazy workouts, prepackaged meals, all that stuff. None of that. Just real results that can last with you and a regimen that actually works, resetting your metabolism so the weight comes off and stays off. Doctor Developed Natural helped thousands of people just like me, lots of other people, lose 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks. And then, you know what? 20, 30 pounds in just a month or two is pretty cool. You want to stop the yo-yo dieting, all the gimmicky stuff. There's a smarter, faster, safer way to do it. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com or call 262-393-2334. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved, but here you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Bring every detail of your world into clear focus with personalized eye care at Shopko Optical. Vince Vitrano here. The experienced and caring team of eye care professionals at Shopko provide comprehensive eye exams tailored to your unique vision needs. Need glasses, contacts, both? From expert care to the perfect prescription eyewear for your lifestyle. Get everything in one convenient visit. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your exam. Shopko Optical. Partners in your eye care.
At Og Prep North, we know the only way to build the future is on the foundation of excellence and faith. Og Prep North, built for academic, artistic, and athletic excellence. Made for more. Learn more at ogprep.org.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
There we go. All right, I'll get to this quickly because we don't have much time left. But as far as what you were saying, as far as do something nice for other people, also just notice the nice things in your life or the nice interactions in your life. I had last Wednesday, I had to go to the grocery store like first thing in the morning. And this is a grocery store that normally is like, the lines are long and it's just not always the best experience. Every single person I came in contact with that day, from the security guard, I walked in and the security guards, there's two security guards, one female, one male. She was like singing along to Taylor Swift and we were laughing because he's like, that's her favorite song. Everyone who worked there was super, just in a good mood. I don't know if there's something about going to the grocery store first thing in the morning before people are like done with dealing with people's BS. But, and it was one of those things of just acknowledging the nice things that happen in your life as a reminder that not everything is all bad.
Sounds good. See you tomorrow?
See you tomorrow.
Point taken.
The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We